Well, guess I'll make a video now. So, well, this morning, this guy said he's finally going to pick up his riding mower, or his zero turn, so we'll see how that goes. It's been here, I think, 6 weeks, so it's been here a while, so I'll be looking forward to getting rid of that. That way I don't have to sit there and walk around it all the time. And of course, that happened on the day that I decided I was not going to be here, so I had to let him know that he was going to have to come in the afternoon after 12 o'clock, because I went to Walmart today to get some tires. Now, I'm pretty impressed with these tires. The experience at Walmart wasn't bad. I wasn't expecting it to go well. Carolyn's son just went and got some tires, and for $400, let's see, it took him 4 hours to get it on, but he probably didn't have an appointment. And I'm telling you, this whole process was pretty flawless. I ordered the tires online, paid for it, paid for the installation, paid for the balancing, paid for the, what is it, $8 to get rid of the tires, disposal fee. And went in there just I don't know, 9:45 or so, or 8:45, excuse me, because the appointment was at 9. Guy came to the counter, gave him the keys. By the time everything was said and done, it was 9 or 8:55. And he says, okay, it'll be done in an hour and a half, which I was already disappointed with that because the appointment set for an hour. But that's okay. All right, hour and a half. So Carolyn and I started walking, and I thought, oh, well, he doesn't have my phone number. No, I know what it was. Excuse me, I'll back up. I said, so you'll page me? He says, no, we'll text you. And I said, well, you don't have my phone number, because I don't remember giving him my phone number. But he read it back to me, so I guess somewhere along the line over the years, I've given him my phone number. Okay, great. So at 9:06, they pulled it into the bay. And I thought, well, they're already late. 6 minutes. So we walked around for a while, deciding if we were wanting to buy anything while we were there. Now, I hate that when you go and shop for an hour while your car's getting worked on, and then you go over to the automotive section and make that poor guy check you out. I just hate that. So I don't do that. But we kept an eye on everything we wanted to get and kept a mental list. And then went in there and sat down for a while. Of course, I wear earplugs when I go into Walmart because I just can't stand all that noise. It's pretty bad for me. So but during the quiet hours, it's not quite as bad. I can tolerate it if it's not too busy. Well, today was pretty nice. The only time it even got a little bit frustrating was we walked over by the freezers, just, you know, walking laps. And I thought about putting them in, but then I realized as soon as we walked by, it was back to being quiet. So we walked around for a half hour, got an idea what we wanted to get. I saw a gas can for $12. It was marked back or discounted or whatever. I thought, no, I want one of those. So kept a mental list of that. Got some, you know, we wanted oil and a couple tubs of cottage cheese, just things. So we went back in there and sat down, and the truck was on the lift, and all the tires were off, and that guy was working on my tire, but it just seemed like he was doing more talking than anything. Now, I know they want you to stay in the store. I get it, and I don't agree with their philosophy. In my mind, it would be better to give these guys, instead of $15 an hour, give them $22 an hour, make them all certified, so they can check each other's work, because I agree with the safety. I like how they do it. They put the tire on, they torque it down, they have a manager come over, check the torque, check the tire pressures. Then the manager takes it for a spin, brings it back, checks the torque again, checks the tire pressures. I like that. But the thing is, they got to have a manager to do that. So they pay this guy $15 an hour, and he's sitting around talking. He's not in a hurry. He knows he has an hour and a half to do his thing. But I think Walmart could do better. Now, I know what people are going to say, well, Walmart forces you to go walk around the store. Yeah, I know that. That's what they want you to do. And like I said, we walked around for a half an hour and knew exactly what we were going to get, and then sat down for a half an hour. So it was a complete waste of my time and their time. If they'd have just done it in the half hour that it should have taken, they still made the money from the grocery shopping, the regular shopping, and they could at least double their workload in the automotive section. But their theory is well, we'll go ahead and make money in the grocery store and just break even in the automotive section. And I think that's just ridiculous. You can make your best money in the automotive section and still get the $150 from the grocery section, because people are still going to go shopping for the half hour. So it doesn't make any sense to keep them there for another hour, see if they'll pick up another, what, $10? It doesn't work. The math doesn't work. But the math does work. You give them all certifications. That way you don't have to wait around for that manager. And you make them more hustle. Them talking all the time just isn't working. So went ahead and got the sat down, and at 10 o'clock they turned that music on. Oh no. So I put my earplugs in, because that was just way too much. It was loud. So put my earplugs in. But fortunately, right around that time, maybe 10:05, they went ahead and texted me. And I will say Walmart is getting more organized than they used to be, say, 20 years ago. I know, 20 years, but that's probably how long it's been. I got the tires changed on the truck, I don't know, probably 5 years ago. 6 years ago. So I have done it before, and that was down in Texas. But I do remember it seemed like it took an extraordinary amount of time, that I just thought it was ridiculous at Walmart. And I had an appointment down there, so I feel like it has gotten better. So it took him an hour, which is what the appointment time was for. So I guess when he said a half hour, or an hour and a half, he was giving himself a little leeway in case something happened, which that's fine. So an hour, I can deal with that. So then we went to the counter, and it was really efficient. They were working on another customer at the cash register. So we're standing in line, being patient, not looking frustrated or anything. And another guy comes up and says, calls my name out. I said, yep, that's me. He said, you're ready to go. He hands me a piece of paper, and I walked out. I didn't have to pay for anything, because, of course, I already paid online. That was it. That's all I had to do. So we pulled around to the front, went back in the store, grabbed the cart, got all our shopping done. It's pretty smooth. So Walmart is getting better. I mean, I can sit here and complain about them, because I think they could still do better. AI says they're working on a system now where you don't even have to talk to a person. You just buy it online, drop off your truck, put the keys in a box, and walk away. Well, that's fine. And that's how a lot of mechanics do it. But I'm not sure I agree with that any better than now. I mean, I have one truck. Most people have one truck. If you're going to go to Walmart, that's a bit of a trip for us. Now, if you live in town, I'm sure that makes sense. But Walmart doesn't seem to understand that they're catering to the rural America. They're not in New York City. I mean, well, they may be, but that's not their primary base customer. The base customer is 40 miles away. He's not going to bring 2 cars so he can drop off his truck and then go back later that day. He's just not going to do it. Now, if they're working or something like that, that makes sense. I mean, I kind of understand all that, and it does make sense. But the thing is they're already doing that. They don't have a key drop-off box. But I could have went in there at 7 o'clock, said, hey, I got an appointment at 9, but I got to get to work. Can you take my truck in now? They'd have taken it. They'd have done the paperwork. I'd have been out of there in 15 minutes, and off to work. So I don't know if what they're trying to do is any better than what they already have, except they're going to put a box outside. So anyway, these are pretty cheap tires. Now, the last tire I had was all-terrain, and I now realize, actually the last 2 sets I've had. The set that came with it, then I bought a set just like it for the second set. This is the 3rd set that I've had. So the first 2 were Goodyear Wrangler all-terrain. And I now know I don't like those tires. These cheap ones are a ton better than the all-terrain. These are highway, road tires. And I'm not going to go four-wheeling. This is a 2-wheel drive vehicle. And it's supposed to be, the all-terrain is supposed to be for gravel and dirt and all that. Well, I mean, we do drive around in gravel. I guess this will pick up more rocks in the gravel, the tight treads, but it just handles so much better. You can take corners a lot easier. I try not to use my brakes, and so my brakes have 100,000 miles on them, and they're still pretty good. I'm going to replace them, but they're still pretty good because I drive with the gas pedal. I'll see a curve way up the road, and I'll start letting go of the gas. I'll tap the brake just so I can turn the lights on, but I don't actually engage the brake pads, just so the people behind me know that I'm going to slow down. And I start slowing down before I get to the curve. So I kind of take that curve at a pace, not fast, but at a good pace. I'm not accelerating or deaccelerating or braking in that curve. So those all-terrain, it was kind of hairy sometimes. You'd be doing 35 miles an hour around the corner, and you're like, man, that just doesn't feel comfortable. It did it. Always did. I never ran off the road or slid or squealed the tires or anything. It just didn't feel right. But these, I mean, handled it like a charm. It was like it was a straight road. Didn't even notice it. It was incredible. So, and then the road noise was a ton less, and because the spacing on all-terrain is wider, so you get that brrr in between all that. This had no road noise. As a matter of fact, I could hear the truck run now. The transmission winding up and pacing itself. You could hear the engine. It's much quieter now. So no road noise, just more truck noise now. So I found that interesting. So my point is these were $50 a piece less than the Goodyear. Maybe more than that. It might have been $75. And to me, these are just a better tire. And I'll still be able to haul things in it. Lawnmowers and the firewood and all that. So, and the thing is, I never go that fast when I'm hauling stuff, ever. Oh, I don't go fast anyways. I saw a MoDOT truck today. And I pulled up behind it. It was at a stop sign. I pulled up behind it. And it says, I drive the speed limit. And I thought, you mean you have to have a bumper sticker that says that? That just sounds insane to me. Why do you need a bumper sticker? Why am I paying MoDOT, the Missouri Department of Transportation, to buy stickers to put on the back of the truck that says, I drive the speed limit? That should be a given. That should be like everybody knows that you're driving the speed limit. But we live in such a society now where the speed limit is a suggestion. It's not a rule. And when they get pulled over, they're like, oh, I'm really mad that I got caught violating the suggestion. Of course he's doing the speed limit. I would expect my government officials to be driving the speed limit. I don't want them speeding because I don't want to have to replace that truck when they wrecks it. Drive safely. Gotta have a bumper sticker that says, I drive the speed limit. Well, I don't have a sticker that says I drive the speed limit. You know what? I drive the speed limit. And I know people find that absolutely incredibly hard to believe. I don't speed. As a matter of fact, with these new tires, I was shocked. Lady was coming down off the exit, and in the town that Walmart's at, when they come down off this one exit, probably about a half a mile down the road, the lane turns into one lane. So you go from 2 lanes plus an exit, so 3 lanes, down to 1 lane in a half a mile. So I'm driving along, and she comes down into the road, so I have to get over. So now I only got a half hour or half a mile to figure out what I'm going to do. So I decided I'm going to speed around her. I shouldn't have. I should have gotten in behind her because she sped up is what the problem was. She was trying to match my pace. And before I knew it, I was doing 80 miles an hour. And I'm thinking, this truck doesn't do 80 miles an hour. Boy, it just ramped up there so quick. So I let go of it and just got in behind her. I couldn't believe she was racing me. I didn't understand the point of that. I don't know. I guess she just didn't want to be behind me on the 2-lane road. It was quite frustrating. Okay, so I'm going to jump off of here. So if you'll click this up next box to take the video over my other channel, really appreciate it. Go check it out. So hope I can inspire you. Have a good day. so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.